been rejected. Therefore, after this, we would like to move on to the sixth motion of the day under the academic field with the motion establish academic materials such as budget, tests, etc. for enhanced students, for enhanced studies. This motion has been proposed by Iqra Club. ويتفضل مشكورا. Before Iqra presenting their presentation, I would like to mention that we still have technical issue on the slide. But before that, I would like to remind some point regarding our voting system and also guidelines in the debate. Firstly, during the vote, I hope that all participants cast their vote in the link, because for now only maximum 80 participants has voted in each motion. Therefore, I hope that one vote is not only for one delegation, but one vote for each and every honorable members. That is my first point. Second thing that I want to remind is that if any one of you during the Q&A session wants to ask any question related and relevant to the motion, I want us to the honorable members of the delegation to stand up and raise your hand, because we want to give more opportunity, especially those delegations at the back, to ask the question regarding the motion. That's all. Thank you. Now you can proceed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our motion is establish academic materials such as past studies, text, notes, and user thought enhancement. Okay. According to the students of the past experience, where they are lacking of exercise and sample questions in understanding the lesson. Regarding this issue, the students will face the same situation in the real exam, where the students are difficult to understand and analyze and score the answer that is relevant to the answer scheme or the real answer. So, what is the objective of this motion? We want to give a brief exposure to the students and increase their understanding about the lesson itself by doing the exercise and also analyzing the different types of questions. State here that it is not the only way, but one of the ways to enhance student studies. We need to understand that different person has different types in understanding the lesson. So, how can we realize this idea? We can implement this motion by compiling all the courses, module, notes, and sample questions in a website or Google Drive. Representatives from each society, such as the academic bureau, should have a further discussion with the department, advisor, and the lecturers in order to filter the contents and get the authorized sources. Taking the advantage of the technologies, we can set up the file systematically in the interface that students can easily access wherever and whenever they need it. For example, we can build a website or a Google Drive to compile all these contents with files that is represented by each society logo to show that the content is related to the course. Then we will divide it into the subsections like the notes, the passive question according to the year, the sample question, quizzes, or even the suggestion, and a chat column to engage between the students. In the chat, a student can access to the past question asked by the previous students and the notes that they need according to their course in the one center, which is the website or the Google Drive. For example, the ISRO in Tomba or in we have the ISRO ILUM website where the students combine all the materials and sample questions in that website. Next is what is the advantage of this implementation. By carrying out this action, it is easy for students to access various types of questions and other examples before any test or exam. With this, students can improve their understanding in the syllabus. They will become more confident to score in exam because they already have the experience in answering the question. So the long-term effect is the student vision in their studies becomes clearer because they already understand what they are learning. Also, will provide them ease to it is easy for us to distribute the academic materials to other students and the next generation. This one, I want to state here that we don't want to spoon-feed the students or expect them to be spoiled, but to create a new and better platform for them to revise their studies. That's all.
Thank you very much to the honorable members from delegation of ICROP. Now we open the floor to any question. Anyone from honorable members to ask a question, please stand up and raise your hand.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So, regarding promotion, I once asked my lecturer about any materials, study materials, or any question examples for us to do revisions or before test. So, she said that the campus or the departments really cannot give any materials for the students. It is due to the matter of confidential. So, due to the motion that you brought, how can we avoid the leak of the materials to other institutes, to other universities? Just only for our students.
Thank you very much. Delegation from ICROP, you may answer the question.
Because we are already aware about the USE question, which is confidential, and that's why we are we need to have a further discussion with the lecturer about this type of question.
Thank you very much to the delegation. Now we open for next question. I think the first is from Entret delegation. Just to remind, if you want to ask questions, just stand up and raise your hand.
Very good. So my question to Scott delegation. So there are lecturers who already upload like exercise sample for the test or quiz in Microsoft Teams according to the sections that they taught. So what is the difference between that effort to this lesson? Thank you.
the question that is on the in or in our section, like this is like 2 or 3 samples. We want to combine like all the from the past year also in one sample class.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're moving on to the question from delegation last.
Is it audible? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, according to Sister Farhan, she's saying that compiling study from any website would be able to be done. So, I would like to ask, what kind of website that you are actually referring? Like, is that website actually based on the skills on UIA? Because we all know all of our materials and the studies and subjects are all only from UIA. And like, if we want to do any notes or exercises, we only base on that general knowledge website, but we don't take it 100%. We only take the general part and then we take it percentage a little bit until we come to the quiz. And then another thing is, like for example, from Focus itself, they have their own telegrams, I think like telegram for notes, questions and everything. So I would like to have much more detail about what kind of samples that you are referring to, like what past paper. Because all the samples from past year is actually have been collected and then put into teams as a sample questions. And sometimes it cannot be referred 100% because lectures only go according to their syllabus. They have their own different way of teaching. Sometimes they change the way of teaching subjects and all the syllabus. And then sometimes the people also can base on their own lectures, not for everyone. So that's my question.
Before I answer the question, I would like to convey one of Arabic word which sound إذا صدق العدو وضع السبيل. And it means if his goal was true, then his direction will be clear. So, inshallah, for the question, back to the question. So the question is like how the sample can be compiled, right? So for the implementation for this academic material banks, the suggestion or the real idea is that we will not be involving directly with certain lecturers that we ask them for the sample of questions and so on. Like if we have a lecturer like PJ lecturer, and we go to him and we ask directly. The question is not like our proposal is not like that. But the compile of questions here is the type of materials is like the paper that, for example, quiz. As we know that for example of physics, we have 3 quizzes, and we have many sections of physics. So the idea is we can collect from each section that have the physics exam, physics quiz. We can collect of each section, and we let the highest mark of students, and we can combine combine, and the PIC of the and like I said before, we can combine this question and we can send it to the department of and department can filter the each papers that we collect from the section, and the lecturer from the department can filter and we can choose one of the best mark and the sample, and we can include it in website or Google Drive. So our decision is the idea is we want to make a Google Drive for website, but website is I think is too hard for us because website we need to have a professional because we take the source code and etc. So for the early stage, we will only focus to use Google Drive as the compilation platform. But if this motion is accepted and implemented, further discussion will be carried on to improve the platform in terms of accessibility and safety. So I think that's all. I hope it will answer your question.
Thank you very much. Yes, delegation from PS, you may have to press.
So I want to ask clarification. So firstly, biology department has been taking the victim sample for each batch. So I want to ask, how can we deal with the department itself? How can we convince them that they have to be they can give this question to the student. And secondly, on the online materials, how can we prevent the leakage of the sample questions? Thank you.
Okay. So hello again. Assalamualaikum. I would be happy to answer your questions now. So the question was like how to make sure the confidential items are not shared in the link. Okay. So as a biological science student, our past papers are like it's safe to be like repeated for the next exam and whatever. If like some of you are taking biology or anything right now, if the paper and the content is confidential, we are not even allowed to take the paper outside of the class. So like for me when I took biology 1, I was we just allowed to take the paper back just for the mark recount. So no content will be leaked or anything whatsoever. And of course, the authority there will be like authority to regulate and monitor the contents. If like if the lecturer will check the link or whatsoever, they will be like, oh, this one is like it is confidential item. There's like might be a students that might sneakily snap the picture of our last paper or anything. So they can, of course, it can be removed because it's the internet, so don't worry. And one more question about the I don't remember on which society was it, but he said that what happened to the content that cannot be viewed by by anyone. So how? Actually, that is our aim. Their aim. The ECOR aim is to, they want to avoid this. They want to avoid the gatekeeping of the good thing. They want to avoid the gatekeeping of the materials that can be benefited from the students. Means like if you have like the physics test from last 2 years or whatever, like, so why can't just we share it? Just make it a very organized system that previously we will have like anonymous group or whatever. There will be like there will be distributed by you, but actually the groups and Telegram group is very messy. It might go neglected. Like not everyone will see the link. So they just want to make a more systematic and organized system for our participants. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I think that's more than enough the question. Or at least one more question. Delegation from Messi, just one question.
So to clarify these matters, whether past year's question should be spread to the other students or not, it is actually most of the past year's question or test actually is confidential. So this issue with the academic materials is we cannot just split it into past years or test only. We can also make the academic materials where the lecturer can share the practice or the exercise that we can give for the students, because usually everything, I think most of the test question or past year's question are confidential. So this issue of the materials bank from past years and test should not be happened at the first place, but we can change it to be the academic bank materials within the exercise or maybe exercise and also practice that are sent by the lecturer to us, and then we can compile it for the academic material bank. Actually, Messi also has the platform for the students to access, and then if you want to find past year's question or past year's test, you couldn't find it because it is confidential. We can only share exercise and also practice from the lecturers that have been given to us. That's all.
Members from delegation, do you want to proceed or just to the vote? Proceed to the vote. Okay, now they end the next motion for us. Now we open the problem to the floor. The motion is that to establish academic materials such as past year and test question for enhanced studies. This motion is proposed by the club. Now you can cast your vote in a link that has been given in the WhatsApp group. 2 minutes for vote. final result for the motion, establish academic materials, past years and test questions for enhanced studies proposed by ICOC Club. In favor, 36, against 13, abstention 23. Therefore, the motion has been accepted by the Just one reminder again to all honorable members, I hope you cast your votes in the link because we want at least more than 80 participants cast their votes. Because we want to get the best and find the best decision and final result. Thank you. Now, we would like to proceed to the next motion under academic team. Study week must be extended and exceed from any program proposed by MRC Azhar. 10 minutes for the presentation.
The speakers and all members of society. We are from MRC Asia, and our motion for today is study week should be extended and active for any programs or activities. So as for today's overview, we would like to highlight two agendas, which is to address the current issue of existing study week and also to discuss and suggest the solution for the problems. So, about our motion, after being 2 semesters in CMS IHM, we observed that there are several shortcomings about current existing study that really impact the performance of students academically. Hence, we believe that by addressing these issues and solve the problems together, in this parliament, we have to improve the quality of study time for our students and increase the performance in examination. As for study week, as we observe in many or in some other institutions like UN, UC, and also UIM, which also have 1 year foundation, we can observe that their study week is usually a week like literally 7 days. So, it is obviously to provide students with adequate time to prepare for their examinations.
Thank you, Aidil. Am I audible?
Yes.
Alright. I will come to our first argument, which is short period of study week. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on the slide that we provided, we bring to you schedules for study weeks throughout the session 2022 and 2023. So we can clearly see there that we are provided only 4 days of study week every semester to prepare ourselves for examinations, which is a very short time. So if we compare with other foundations, like there are fast tracks, also like IUM, for example, we have UITM, which is provided with 1 week period for study week. 1 week. UC, 2 weeks of study week. And they will also be continuing graduate at the exact same time as students of CFS IUM. So besides that, by having short period of study week, students are prone to do cramming study method. So what is cramming study method? It is memorizing a large amount of information in a short time period into your short-term memory. So that sounds familiar, huh? Because to a certain point, we all do that. We all start cram studying when it comes to the finals. Because of what? Because we have short period of study, which is only 4 days. So this method of memorizing large amounts of information in short periods of time is not reliable, not efficient, and far from ideal. So cramming at the last minute reduces the time for your brain to process the information and convert that short-term memory. So basically, your brain, when you try to memorize something for the first time, it has to have more time to convert it into a long long-term memory, which is more meaningful than a short-term memory that you will forget like in a few days or a few hours. Do you agree? Yeah. So, members of the parliament, can you imagine a student with 6 subjects, multiple subtopics, and cramming all that into just 4 days? Sounds like impossible. And we're not here to gain knowledge just for the purpose of, for the exam papers. So studies have shown that cramming study method also increases stress and anxiety. So now we have another problem. First, we have the problem in cramming our studies, and now we have a mental health problem, anxiety and stress. So, there is a scientific study which stress hormones like cortisol actually have an impact on memory function. So, it's like this. Short period of study week equals to cramming study equals to stress equals to limiting your brain ability to create long-term memory. So, are you aware of what we are creating if this goes on? Shouldn't graduates from CFS be quality graduates rather than just some student who seems smart on only paper? Because after the exams, the knowledge goes bye-bye. You don't remember anything. When that knowledge is actually needed for a long term in your job scope in the future.
Am I audible?
Not clear.
Now?
You.
The second issue that needs to be highlighted is students have other activities to be done during study weeks. As we can see that students cannot give commitment during study weeks because of other obligatory activities such as replacement classes or being a committee in an event. For example, like Sukan Asasi in the last semester, one of the significant examples when one of the committee of Sukan Asasi Malaysia, as known as SAM, was overworked since they need to complete certain tasks and need to give commitment on their study weeks and even on their academics. Another example is the replacement classes that was held during the study week. Study week should be a week that students should focus on the subjects for the exam, not for the last minute replacement classes that actually need to be in the lecture week, not in the study weeks. Besides of the replacement classes that held on the study weeks, students also need to take the assignment paper in the lecture office during the study week. It obviously will distract students to do their revisions. And sometimes some lecturers give the continuous assessment mark at last minute. Okay, let's see how other activities like having a program impact to students. First, of course, students have really limited time for preparation for the exam. Restricts the amount of time students have to prepare for exams or engage in depth studying, and it obviously lead to increased stress and pressure as students try to cover a significant amount of material within a limited time frame. Second, it exists inequality among students. A shorter study week may affect different such as students inequality, particularly this with heavier course loads of more challenging subjects. And to add on, students also have difficulty in balancing responsibility. Many students have various commitments outside of academics, such as involvement in extracurricular activities. For example, like a student have more than one responsibility, and sometimes they have more than two. So it's hard for them to balancing their responsibility and the academics.
Let's move on to the solution. The first solution that we propose in this department is to lengthen the study period to add most 7 days or 7 days. So this will cause the shortened semester break vacation. But this is what we call give and take situation. In order to have another 3 days of study week to complete your 7 days, we propose to decrease 3 days of semester break vacation, only 3 days. So now, there are actually benefits from it. So by adding the study week, students have adequate time to revise, memorize, and also study, prepare for the examination. If you can imagine, if the student have back-to-back papers or continuous papers for 3 or 4 days, it will take time for them to memorize all of the subjects and it's hard, but it's not possible to excel in all of the subjects. But do you think it only can take 4 days for them to memorize all of them? To add more, this will...
Remember, please complete your second solution because you have more than enough 5 minutes more.
Thank you. And this will help to maintain the academic focus and momentum of study. As for the next slide, we can see that the current situation, after week 12, we have only 4 days to study and prepare for the examination. And as for our suggestion, we add on 3 days in study week and shorten 3 days in semester break. And by the time for students comes back for the next semester is still the same, not affected the whole entire academic calendar, but only take 3 days shorten your vacation.
For the solution, no extra activities during study week. During study week, it should be no organized activities. Basically, no preparation for any program. As we know that during the study week, we have no program, but sometimes we have preparation like can assess situation. So we need to free during the time from any activities or preparation of any program.
So to conclude, we propose the motion study week to be extended and from any activities should be accepted as it will ensure the quality of future CFS graduates and maintain their academic health as well as their mental health. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Now we open the Q&A only for 10 minutes. Again. Aduh. 3. Bentar tu tengok. 3, 2, 1. Bentar sebentar.
Kalau sebelum tadi berarti sangat dulu lah.
So, honorable members from Management Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As said by the representative presenter, they said that to empty all activities during the study week, including SAM. So I'm asking if there were any activities such as Sukan Assistant Malaysia with permission, is it that we are not sending any contingent from CFS to represent our contingent? Any team from our contingent? Just because of our final exam, we are excluded from that event, such as a big event where all public universities are participating.
Thank you, brother. So let me correct you. We don't mean that that CFS is not going to send any contingent, but we are emphasizing about the progress of, with permission of this from speaker, persiapan for the event SAM is interrupting the study week of the students as well as at the time of the final. Okay, let me give you an example. There was this committee which she had to go to the preparation for some before the paper and okay, the preparation interrupts the study week of the student as well as the week of the final because they said that if you don't have any paper for tomorrow, so you have to come for the preparation for some. Well, actually, that time when she is free is actually have to use for her study to focus on her final. Thank you. I hope that answers it.
Thank you very much. Please sit down. Still, I cannot make judgment based on Bentara. Because I don't know this topic is very crucial. So 3, based on Bentara, 3, 2, 1. But I think we're trying to give first opportunity for the karate do.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Just now the Marcia just said about the girl that who become a committee for South.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because they have a problem because during the heat time he need to go to settle the program. Okay. But the committee for Sukan Asasi is volunteer, so if her own choice that choose to become the committee, so she should know that she will have thousands of work to do. So there is no problem if whether you get stressed or what, because there is his own choice, her own choice. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question, Tarantino. We give Sam as an example, but Sam is not during study week, but the ongoing process of the rehearsal that is held during study week. So it's true that it her own commitment, right? But there is, as for our suggestion, we propose that the meeting organizing member can be considerate to the students, considerate more to the students to give them time to do studies, and also the student also need to prioritize her academic. So.
Please, I know this motion is very related to us, but now we proceed to the next question. Now, based on my judgment, please, order, please. Sit down, sit down. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. I give opportunity for orators.
So we as orators are
to bring up and rise up this motion. Alright, as seen before. Alright, based on the constitution before, based on the regulation from the Ahmad itself, it stated there that any final examination will be started in 15 week of 15. But in our regulation, there's a one problem here, where the final examination was started earlier in week 13. Therefore, by following the constitution given by IEM itself, maybe MRC Azhar can bring up the issue that our CFS is not following the constitution of IEM, then the examination will be move forward to week 14. Therefore, in the week 13, we will have 1 week for study period. That's all for me. Thank you.
Right. So I give okay now to the right side. Delegation from the
about the mechanism of give and take. As far as I remember, you guys mentioned about students' mental health. And your action or your suggestion is to shorten holiday. How can we stabilize students' mental health? Can you guys hear me? Alright, one more time. About the give and take mechanism, you guys agree to shorten the holiday of our the semester holiday. And as far as I remember, you guys also mentioned about students' mental health. So how can you ensure or how can you stabilize students' mental health by shortening the holiday? That's number one. Number two, you agree to extend the study week just because our students have other things to do outside of the academic matters. I have very point issue with this because I think this is a very selfish act. I mean, for example, you guys take for example an MRC or a HRC. I mean, you guys ask for it. You guys ask for the position, and you do know the consequences of your action. So you cannot blame just because you don't have enough time to study. You try to extend it to 7 days, which I think is very selfish. Response? Thank you.
Last question. Okay. Before respond, yes. Which one? Okay. Brother, I'm so sorry, remember I get the point. So you want to say that press makes you... No. Okay, proceed. Sorry.
My statement is related to the statement from the MRC Azhar.
Yes.
MRC Azhar is a statement that you cannot distinguish between the students involved in student discrimination because they do not focus on getting the final exam. For education speaker, only 140 out of 40,000 students
member, please complete your... Sit down, please. Please.
of 4,000 students involved in student leadership. And I want Azdah to mention who are the students that actually involved. They said like, oh, something self-as.
In my consideration, that standing order is rejected. I don't want any more standing order. I don't want any more. Please. No more standing order. We want to proceed to the last answer by MRC, please. No more question, please. Sorry.
For the first from Brad, okay. For the question, you asked about the relation about mental health and us proposing to shorten the holiday week, right? Okay. We're proposing to, the study week is 4 days. 4 days. And we are only proposing to add only 3 days. And with the concept of give and take, we are only taking 3 days from your 3 weeks of holiday semester break for your mental health. How does that work? Because, like I said in my points just now, short period of study week is going to result in stress because we are going to cram a lot of things in a really short period of time. And then, if we are stressed and we have anxiety at that period, before the finals, we're going to be down. And then, if we don't remember all that we crammed, we're on the examination, we are going to be stressed also. And then, if that impacts the CGPA and our final result, it will also affect our mental health. But, I'm sorry. Because we are going to be down, we're going to be stressed, we're going to give up because we failed. Okay? Mental health before, on the exam, and after. Thank you. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much, and I hope that is the end of our session. I know more questions, but please, we want to proceed with the next motion. And now we open the problem to the floor. The motion proposed by the MRC Azdah study week must be extended until from 20 before here. Now to all participants and delegations, you can cast your vote in the link now. we have received the final result for the proposed motion. The motion with the most questions ever so far, and unluckily the total voted is the lowest. The motion study week must be established and empty from any program proposed by MRC Azhar. In favor 16, against 47, abstention 10. The motion is rejected. However, the total voters is only 63. We still lack of 17 members from this house. And I hope all participants please do so, because this is the benefit for the next batch. Thank you. Now we are moving to the last motion for academic year.
Speaker, I need to standing order regarding the undi belah pagi. Can I speak? In standing order 47.2 in Malay, can I with permission? Apabila seseorang ahli itu ditanya pihak mana hendak diundinya dalam sesuatu belah bahagian, bolehlah dijawabnya mengatakan ia mengundi bagi pihak bersetuju atau bagi pihak tidak, atau dengan menyatakan seterang-terang iaitu tidak hendak mengundi. Seseorang ahli tidak boleh memberi jawab yang berlawan dengan apa-apa ketetapannya yang dikeluarkan pada masa diadakan undi dengan suara beramai-ramai. In this standing order, I want to actually with your permission menegaskan soal pengundian, which we need to understand that to make sure that this parliament can function properly, we need to reject the notion of abstention. Because I think the previous motion, we used a lot of abstention in regards that people really don't know how to decide whether it is good or bad. It's either because they don't understand, or the pencadang failed to actually make the people understand about their motions. Therefore, I ask for as part of the committee itself and the protocol, which for speaker to actually make the undi belah bagi, no more abstention, to ensure that the parliament can function properly.
Now I open for the suggestion. Anyone who agrees that abstention should not be anymore in the vote, please stand up. And anyone who disagrees, just sit down. So more people stand up, no more abstention in the vote after this. Thank you very much. And I also want to open or that you can suggest anything, but please just stand up and mention about the order, and we will consider about your suggestions. Thank you. Now we would like to move on to the last motion under the theme academic. Every society must organize their own compulsory academic mentoring program to help students. This motion is proposed by Aiman Telekla.
Okay, so I as a representative from the iMasjid group, proposing the motion of every society must organize their own compulsory academic mentoring program to help students in their academic matters. So the compulsory academic mentoring program, the words compulsory is referred to all academic-based society. Although I'm not a representative from the ABS, I propose to the all academic-based society to compulsory this program in all of the academic-based society. So how is it compulsory? It is compulsory to be launched in each society, but it is not compulsory to be joined for all students, because we are already grown up. We already major people. We are already 18, so we know how to control ourselves. But we, in order to help people in their study, we need to. This program is an intensive to help our friends that are low in study, so that they can boost their confidence to excel in future exam. So next slide. So the issue
why I propose these motions because CFS students find that doing some revision with peers is more effective way to help them understand better. So majority of in our CFS is same age, except Ikrok is our senior for 1 year. So our age is not so different. So we have the ability to communicate between ourselves and friends in order to study the subjects better. So the implementation of this program is my idea is to open to students who are interested, but it's not compulsory, as I said before, because some students are not comfortable to be studied in a large group. But my purpose is to make this mentoring program in terms of maybe 5 or to 6 people only, so that the mentor can be focused on their mentee, have more time to focus to their mentee. And then assign the mentor is every subject. As an example, there are not much people that have good grades in all subjects. So we just choose that good in his subjects to only teach that subject that he excel in that subject, and choose the other people to choose the other subject. So it can be give and take around for the group. So it's not the only one people can benefit to all the people. And also, why I suggest the mentor is among our students, our friends, because as you can see, as you also know, why USRO for last time and last time is conducted by students. Because USRO is a compulsory program to all students. But why the facilitator is from student also? Because the cost to pay the allowance for lecture is so high. So the UIA, the IIM make initiative to train facilitators to conduct the USRO. So this same methods that I will propose to make this program, so that at the same time UIA can save their budget and also boost their students' confidence in studies. So maybe in our life, in foundation life, it's so short. One sem only 12 to 14 weeks. So I suggest for once a week to have a mentoring program, so each of the members can have their own time. Maybe they have to play or also have other things to do rather than study. Like just from Citra said earlier this morning, student is not only need to study, they also need release some stress, need to do some sport, also some music. Okay, and then yes, Google Form is one of the normal platform to do our homework. So it's also a easy platform to make the question. So I propose that Google Form to be the one of the platforms for the material to be shared in this program. And lastly is provide star points. This one is the most common things for all the programs. All programs need star point, and then you star point, and then you get a lot of star points. You will show to your friend, show to it. So maybe some course is star point is really important, but as long as it can benefit students, so why not we just give the star point? So that is the end of the presentation. So I proceed for the advantages for these programs, that students would improve their grades, reduce the percentage of studying failing, increase students' understanding. So if you can see, this the 3 points here is maybe so general, but you all can see that we have some students that we currently in Century, right? But we already see that our friend is currently Sem 4 and already some Sem 5. We need to help them in order to don't make their pathway to the degree level faster. So they will save their time to go to Gombak campus or maybe Bagu campus and also Kuantan campus. So I hope this motion will be accepted by the House in order to increase our student studies level in our campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the honorable members from delegation of iMasjid. Now we open for organization and I would like to priority for the first timer questionnaire. Please give them priority. Yes, honorable member from? Red Crescent, yes. You may ask the question. First timer, please. You are open more discussion.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillah. Yes. Okay. So regarding to, I'm interested in speaker. In your implementation, you say about the open students who are interested in joining camp. Okay. Well, you propose this to all ABS society, and as we know that every academic society mostly to be science-based. Like I'm part of engineers. We also have like math clinic, physics clinic every end of semester before final exam. And I would say that from my observation from that, not everyone joined that. Like you always get the soft copy, the academic material after the program from your friends who go there. So I think for the camp is the mentor or mentee. What if like the person who joined that they get a lot of advantage, like they can discuss face to face and get the reading material, academic materials, but for the student who don't join it, like not interested with that, but they still get the reading material from your student, just make it unfair for them. Like they just gain the academic material from their friends that go there. So when people know, oh, we don't have to join this because we already going to get the academic material from our friends to join that. So it can be unfair, in my opinion. Is it clear?
Thank you for the question. So for the maths clinic that I informed from myself, our society, our students, we have no such kind of maths clinics. So in terms of maths clinics, it's a such large group of class in lecture hall. So the purpose of this program is just to small the circle of study. So it's better to study between students, and the mentor is itself maybe must be recognized by the lecturer also. So like I said before, there are some students that are prefer to study alone and also maybe study in a group and maybe study in a large.
Members, yeah, before that, any first timer question other than RCC members? First timer question. Sensi delegation question? No. So another. After this, another first question, I hope. But if there is no first question, so we open to another question.
Okay, thanks for the answering my question about that. Okay, for the second question, I wonder about so about the schedule that you guys proposing this, like once a week, once every 2 weeks, and a week before examination. Okay, so I think if this motion can be accepted, this might be set for the next test, right? Because right now we already like in week 9, so it's kind of rushing. And plus, if there's then a week before examination, does it make students more prefer to discuss with their closest friend, like roommates, classmates, and people study alone by the academic material themselves? Because in case you start this
at the first of semester, at the yearly for semester for our next batch, it's gonna be good because the students itself like can make contacts on the first studying math together, the mentor-mentee. But how about the consistency? Consistent. Maybe they feel like, oh, they're gonna drag because not everyone has the same schedule. So at the first they join the mentor-mentee and then they have like something to do on the weekends, like they have something that busy. So how about the consistency?
So, yes, it focus over the motion that we discussed today and tomorrow is all about for our upcoming students, our junior. So, regarding this question, how the consistency will be ongoing in the future. So, as I said before, this program is only open to who that interested. So, when we open, like, I just open to all people that we all here. Like Usra itself. Does any Usra have full attendance in 7 May? Not right? Because why? Because the Usra is compulsory to all students. So, why I didn't want to compulsory this program? Because I know when the compulsory programs that will be adequate, that will so they will have some that will have lots of empty seats. So rather than we compulsory to all students of this program, we just open to who interested, and the mentor have been awarded some allowance. So the mentor should be responsible on the mentoring program to be consistency in once a week or maybe twice a week, according to the mentor itself. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We still have 3 more minutes for next question. So I open to the floor any question from delegations. Now I open the question to delegation from Nancy.
Basically about this program, which is mentor-mentee program, we from AC just want to share. Actually, this kind of program, we have conducted this program for 2 semesters, and I just want to share what happened when we do this program. So, from the report, this is a report. You guys didn't see that, but it's okay. But basically, about the report, it concluded about the participants from the Maxi Society. As you guys know, Maxi Society is from many students that you guys daily as budak yang asyik belajar dia. But this is the budak yang asyik belajar tu. That's only, I can say, approximately 50 from 300 students. So the issue that come from the IPRJ, which is they want to study with your friend or what, that's in the small circle. It's not an issue actually because they really didn't want it. Even when we do it for this semester, we combine it with bioscience students. Even we combine with bioscience students, the participant, they rise up. It's the same. We can count it like it's the same from the first time we had it. So from here, we can say many advantages from this program. 100,000 advantages. We get this out, but it cannot be achieved if they didn't want to support it. So from here, rather than we discuss about making compulsory for all the ADS to join this program, like give a mentor or what, it's better for we discuss a mechanism of how to enhance them to join this program. Like maybe I must say I agree with what they said when we make it like Usra. We make it Usra, they come. But I can say that it will be burden for the student if we make compulsory like Usra. Even Usra, when we take the Friday for the Usra, it's being a burden for the student. So we want to add it for this mentor-mentee program, I can say it's a big no lah. So if we make then we need to consider if we make it in the study week that we have discussed like 4 days and we add it like this for mentor-mentee program, more burden for the student. That basically I can say for like a focus, maybe they have like a subject like what you can say like history, history. So basically history maybe they want to study by their own, or maybe we can set for the medic students, bio student, which is for biology. Maybe they want to read it by themselves. So if you want to make they are like a mentor for this subject, I can say it will never get a support from the student. That's all.
From Messi. Now we still give extra 5 more minutes for. I think this motion is quite related to the APS society, so I want more delegation from APS. But if there was no, so we can proceed with other club.
Right, I have two questions about mechanism to ask to the division of MRT. First one is about how to assign a mentor. The briefing about this, the presentation about how to assign student is not clear. I demand a brief explanation on how to assign the mentor. Is it by voluntary or is it by asking the lecturers siapa yang layak menjadi pengumuman? And yes, please explain briefly about that. And one more thing about when will this start? For example, you guys said during study week. Okay, if during study week, how many sessions will be done? Is it 1 session or 2 sessions? If 1 session, is it essential or gonna be some burden to students? Thank you.
Regarding the mentor, as I said before, we choose from the 12 students from each subject. So and recognized by the lecturer, I said before in my speech. So maybe you ask how we can choose in SEM 1. So SEM 1 we have the scan result, right? So we can choose the subject mentor from the SEM result. And also for the how much the program will be conduct in a week. So we are proposing to start the program in the 2nd week. So it will be started in 2nd week and will be conducted once a week. So it will release the burden for the students to study and give them some space to study for their for themselves to have their own time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now last question before vote. Injin. First question. Injin. Injin delegation.
I received for your information that our society has engineering student has about 800 students and has said that the participant for this program or mentoring program is I think is so low, but because the engineering student is not like join the program, like it is based on our experience on our study, and we had some program for like robotic workshop like that about 30 participants like that. It's all from 800 students for the question is how are you gonna make this happen?
So regarding the questions on how it's possible to make it happen for the engineering students that have around 8,800 students. So when we conduct a program, the effectiveness of the program or for the participants, one of the factors is the promotion. So as we discussed earlier in this house, there are some news that have been spread in the official Secretariat Telegram group, or maybe all of your own WhatsApp group. So the promotion of the program must be spread more to all the groups so that the students will notice that this program is is ongoing, so that they can be joined the program. And also regarding the too many students, maybe I don't really know the engineering students because too many, but maybe rather than you 800 students, maybe you can focus on that have get lower grades from your society, from that get lower grades, so that we can focus on that rather than search for the other 100 people, 800 people.
Thank you very much. Now we're moving to the vote. The motion: every society must organize their own compulsory academic mentoring program camp for health students, proposed by iMaster Club. 2 minutes for vote. Get the final result for the motion proposed by iMaster. Every society must organize their own compulsory academic mentoring program camp to help students. In favor 27, against 44, the motion is rejected. Thank you very much. So we have completed 3 teams for the first day of session. Now we proceed to the last team, students welfare, and another 4 motions. First motion under students welfare, in response to the government policy on inflation, and Ministry of Higher Education commitment of Menu Rahmah program in every university. This House will support the introduction of Menu Rahmah in CFS, IIM, CFS, and MAS for all students, proposed by Perkins, CNC, Econs, University, Fatima, and Focus. Now 10 minutes for the presenters.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you and greetings I give to Honorable Speaker, fellow members of representatives, and also my fellow partners. I hereby represent the voice of students regarding the Rahmah issue. We are holding the ground of giving the opportunities for every student to have nutritional adequacy, food supply at a reasonable price, in which we consider the concept of check and balance. So, we are going to discuss firstly about the background of Menu Rahmah itself, secondly the issue, next the program rationale, student point of view, student operation mechanism, program implementation, and also the benefits. First off, I will briefly explain about the background or the nature of Menu Rahmah program. So, basically, it is an initiative of the Ministry of Domestic Trade of Cost of Living, and it is part of Payung Rahmah short-term program, which includes other initiatives such as Bangku Rahmah, Cafe Rahmah, Jualan Murah Rahmah, and Barangan Rahmah with your permission, Speaker. And this program is mainly to reduce the cost of living, partly among the poor and the group of P40. So, in a meal of Menu Rahmah, it consists of rice, one source of protein, either chicken or fish, one type of vegetable, and also it will come with a bottle of mineral water, with a fixed affordable price at 5 ringgit Malaysian. So, what it is actually faced by most of our students in Sambas IIM, which is the financial problem due to expensive and unreasonable price of the food at cafes. So, before that, let me clarify our main motive in bringing this motion up here is to propose that this Menu Rahmah program to be reoperated at all cafes. Why I say to be reoperated? Because back during the early first semester, it turns out that the cafes actually had operated the Menu Rahmah program, but it was discontinued due to first the lack of responses and attention from the students, and also a lack of promotion. So, if you notice, if you change the slide, okay. So, if you notice, if some of you notice at the cafes, they are still hanging the list of menus of Menu Rahmah, which named as Menu Siswa, back when it was operated during the first semester. But now, it's just decoration at the cafe, because the cafe doesn't even prepare the meal now. So I would like to pass the floor to my student partner. So I will continue to emphasize the reoperating of Menu Rahmah in our campus. So next, we will discuss about the program rationale. So first, to help students to have access on balanced food. As the food becomes more pricey, as it grows more balanced. Why I said that? After this, I will show you the result of my interview among the CFS students. So next. Help overcome multidimensional poverty issue. Why do the implementation of the multi-dimensional poverty is considered having the three aspects in a household, which is health, education, and living standard. If the deprivation score is 1/3 or higher, the household is considered as multidimensional poor. Back in 2022, Global Multidimensional Poverty Index declared that 1.2 billion of the people in 111 developing countries are having an acute multidimensional poverty. Next is raising the idea of, with your permission, Honourable Speaker, tidak ada siapa berhak lapar as food as the most basic and fundamental necessity. So next, this is our result of interviewing some of the students in CFS. As we can see, the interview said that some of them think that it is a reasonable price for them, and some are not. This shows that they live in a various of group income family, those who afford and those who not. So the initiative of Menu Rahmah will provide a solution and a financial aid for the students that who can afford at least to buy 2 times food for daily. Okay, next. This is our survey using the Google form. So most of the students said that the food price at the cafe is expensive and not reasonable for the quality and the quantity. Next. And there's a survey that we asked about Menu Rahmah, and most of them give a great feedback and response to support Menu Rahmah if it's available for you for a very long period of time. Okay. Next, let's moving on to the operation mechanism. So for the operation mechanism, this is how the program will be run. So we suggest that to sell the food to Menu Rahmah at a maximum of 5 ringgit as stated by the KPDN, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living. And then next, the meals are sold in the stand of fried, immediate, and packaged. So where we want to sell the food. So this is just the suggestion and initiative that we could do. So first, by conventional shop premise, and then IPR, Initiative Pendapatan Rakyat, NPC, as it is a latest initiative to gain access to food. And then next, the establishment of food banks for ready-made food. So moving on how are we going to implement the modus operandi based on this selling medium. As mentioned by Sister Erin just now, firstly, we wanted to do the selling of the Menu Rahmah at conventional shop premise, which in normal words, in easier words to be understand that a process of shopping without including any online process. So our suggestion to have this medium not affecting the Menu Rahmah program is that the KPT, Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi, could provide direct subsidy to participating cafe operators. This is because it is mainly to cover the expenses for rental, for food supplies, and also for the transportation by the cafe operators or the tenants. So, we did questionnaires to the cafe operators. They basically needed to pay for the cafe rental for each of the sites of the cafe for approximately 1,320 ringgit per year, not including the electrical bill, which they also needed to pay by themselves. And that's why the logic behind this idea is that this way they could maintain their profit gaining in order to then pay for their own expenses, as Menu Rahmah is already like breaking down their profit behind. So maybe in other way, the CFS and IM itself they might sponsor for the promotion of the Mini Rahmah throughout the campus by printing out the banner and bunting and so on and so forth. So next, the IPR style vending machine, which is a vending machine that actually mainly to eradicate poverty by the IPR that allows entrepreneurs from lower income groups to sell meals for as low as 2 ringgit Malaysia, which they could sell simple meals such as fried noodles in the machine. So this kind of machine could be spread or could be put inside the campus to help the students who are short of budget to buy food for the day. So last but not least, the establishment of food bank for ready-made food on campus with the help of joint venture with the private sector or any individuals who are kind enough to do charity to put food, any supplies at the food banks. So how does this work? We select a specific location to the people, to the private sector to provide supplies like food or any dry food supplies to be taken, to be used by the people in need. So I think moving on to the benefit. So for the last one, the benefit of the program for students. So first, help ease the burden of the living cost for students of higher education institutions. As we know, as a student, the fee of the university not only in IIUM are expensive. So with this initiative or reoperating of Mini Rahmah, we lessen the burden of the low group income family. If you ask about BKA, which is the Bantuan Kewangan Asasi, yes, we have the BKA, but for those who in need, they will use the money as wisely as it could help them to lessen their family burden or supplying weekly expenses for them in the university. Okay. Next, to ensure that their welfare continue to be protected. So from this statement, we can emphasize here to keep protecting and maintaining our community in prosperity. Okay. The last one is learning and teaching process is not affected because students can access food easily everywhere without thinking to spend much money to get a decent and healthy food at an affordable price. So when we not everyone are wealthy and not everyone are afford. So when we provide an initiative for those who need to have a nutritional education at a reasonable price while studying at university level, it will give the student to have a healthy and good life in university. So everyone has the right to eat. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we open for the Q&A session, 10 minutes. Now we open from the delegation from
this Mini Rahmah already has been held during the first semester, and because of lack of responses and attention, and also lack of promotion of the program, the banner or the poster about this Mini Rahmah just give a decoration at KPKP. So my question, how the method that you can convince us, the members of this house, that the same mistake that happened during the first semester will not happen again?
Thank you for the question. As I've said before, when it comes to something that like this, which needs the solidarity and also need the response from students. The way for us to convince that everyone to join in this program is that everyone solidarity need to join this program. Because the rationale behind it is that we need to understand the vendors that were given tenders. First, they did not want to, at any point, wanted to promote this program. Because why? Because if they promote this program, and if this program succeeds, the impact is that they cannot increase their profit and they have to hit the demand that the students want lower prices of food. Therefore, to make sure that this program is successful, we need to actually increase the demand, which is, with your permission, Speaker, untuk meningkatkan sambutan. The only way for us to ensure that this program can be sustainable, etc., is to make sure that students, when you hear that this program is implemented here, and when we propose this menu rahmah to the KPT and to the KPDHP and to the Kerajaan Perpaduan Malaysia Madani, etc., when they come to propose and do this thing, we need to actually promote it ourselves that we can actually do this thing. Because if we, let's say, like the previous semester, no promotion, nothing, we don't know anything. Even in Mahala Bidoni, if I still remember, there are some food that are related to the menu siswa program, but no one knows. Why? Because the capitalists, they don't give a shit for us. I'm sorry. I will wrong. But the problem is, that's the reality.
But you cannot use that word.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. But that's the reality. The issue has risen. More that we demand to decrease the prices, they will not hear because they know they cannot earn the profit. That's why to come with the solution and to make it promising and to make it menjadi, we need to ensure solidarity among students to support and buy this product first. Second, as I stated before, the problem with menu siswa rahmah previously is that it was actually endorsed by the government, and in which with the permission of the speaker, kerajaan telah macam mengenakan satu bentuk sewa tu subsidi terhadap sewa dan sebagainya. Jadi perkara ini menyebabkan kalau kerajaan tarik balik, tak boleh pakai speaker. Therefore, the difference is menu rahmah this time is actually full of vendors, which means yang semuanya ada di bawah vendors.
This in English.
Everything is under the vendors, which means for the market to function properly, etc., etc., it will not melibatkan the government itself. Therefore, I can convince the Muktamar, the House, that this implementation at last is all about solidarity and to promote the interests of the students and society. Because in the end, with the help of MRC that hosts the cafe, we can make it done. And inshallah, we can make it done. Thank you.
I open to Mahala Radio Division. And I also want to remind the response must be very short and precise.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Firstly, as a part of the MRC community, we are fully support this motion, but we need some intelligence about this. So, as the motion states that we support the president of Menu Rahmah in the academic activities. So, we need to detail which cafes. Is it going to be only in BUD cafes, or is it going to be AC also, or maybe including the PNC, because it also considered as cafes. So maybe you're going to have nothing for 2 ringgit maybe, so we don't know. Okay? So that's one. The type of cafe, so which cafe that's going to apply to the Rahmah. Number two, if this motion will succeed in Parliament and in management, how long is it going to be held? Because as we all know,
And the Rama itself is implies in the market. So, like for example, if let's say the food like rice, chicken, and sayur, vegetable, okay, mostly around, let's say, in the market is 6 ringgit, okay. But in the Rama, we charge only, let's say, 4 ringgit. So the business will lose 2 ringgit there. But the cost, let's say, the cost of the rice, chicken, and vegetable, let's say, is 3 ringgit, let's say. So the business will get 1 ringgit because it's at 4 ringgit. But we also know that during this day we are facing the inflation, which means the price will keep increase. So let's say if the price is equal to the cost, how the business going to make a profit? Is it going to be? Is it this million amount will be back after the price is equal to the cost? So I need future details. But if this motion will get support, will be approved, we will support what we need in this. Thank you.
Now moving on to the next question. Millets delegation.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. So first of all, regarding this menu Rahmah, in Malaysia Madani initiative to help poor people, there is the issue regarding this. First and foremost, regarding the quality of the food itself. Because we know when we lower the price, especially just like the delegation from Pokese, maybe some of the vendors must to cut the cost and everything, so they will not get the bigger margin of their profit. So it will come to the tendency, which is the vendors will use the cheaper or maybe the low quality of the product to give to the student. Because I want to remind members of the parliament, during this day, since we did not have menu Rahmah yet, we still have a lot of issue regarding food, especially in Brothers Cafe. So I think, and I want the explanation from the delegation on how you want to ensure, even though we still proceed with this menu Rahmah, the cheaper price, but the quality is still maintained. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now the answer from delegation, any delegation.
Thank you for the question, Brother Asna. Brother from the representative of Alex. So regarding the quality and so on, I can assure you that at any circumstances and at any kind of situation happen, this program, as Menu Rahmah intended, is based on the quality that the Ministry of Health and the government standard, which means by theoretically speaking, all of the product will be of high quality, as in the servings for the nutrition, etc., etc. First. Second, I need to remind that the situation related of the management of the cafe itself, as in the quality, as of the hygiene, the sanitary, etc., all of that is regarding to the management of the cafe and not based on the program. Therefore, I need to remind that two of these things are different. Did I answer your question, Alex? So, in the end, if there are problems, let's say if there are problems, I back to my main point, which is solidarity. For you to speak and for you to ensure the quality, you need to complain. No complaint, no action, right? No one talking about it, no one will take an action about it. So it's all about solidarity. You want to make the program work, work on ourselves. Work as a social being, as what Aristotle said. So this is what we need to apply as a society and as the representative of the society. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Madam. Biruni. Alright. So regarding the question of Biruni, what months that we will mana kita akan buat kan? Cafe, regarding cafe, sorry Mr. Speaker, regarding the cafes and the marts, based on our implementation, we target that at least all cafes can implement this program. First, or not like in Sisters Mahala, they like have 4 vendors, different vendors. If like 2 of these 4 vendors can explore this program or implement it, I think it's okay. But in, let's say, Brothers Mahala, one in Buruni, we all can go for it. And in March, I think it is appropriate, like in Rayaman, or in Mat related to the Mahala, which is under the direct jurisdiction of the MRC itself. Okay, the second one is about the fluctuation of prices, right? So I have been reading some article regarding the CPI, the Consumer Prices Index, and I have said I should actually explain that our current inflation is very static, which at 3.4 or 3.6%, which means at these current prices we have lowered down since the COVID period. So it's lowered down very high, very down, very low, decreasing. Okay. So to support this thing, which means that at this current point, can I explain in Malay?
One sentence.
Logically, everything that goes up and now they goes down, the product that goes up need to go down too. But the situation is, some of these products, they go up and they keep skyrocketing up and not go down. The prices.
Wrong, Ramani, do you want to add or
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so the mechanism actually, it will fluctuate. But that's why we need this program to maintain. I mean the prices will fluctuate. There will be demand, there will be surplus, there will be all that kind of economic terms lah. So we need to maintain at least when this program implemented. I can assure you that the government will always regulate and always try to appease to the vendor that this program is actually initiative that is happening, that can be done. That's how I went to the RNR, to the FPT, etc. All of them, we can do it. And I assure to the building, we can try to do it. For the question, we set the belakang. Thank you.
I think for both delegation, just your suggestion, not a question. Harmony and Masjid Zahrawi. Question or suggestion? Because we are late on time. Question or suggestion? And Masjid Zahrawi. Question. Because we want to stick 4 p.m, proceed to next question. But I think just suggestion, just question, but answer after that. After the debate, just answer question. You can want to proceed, yes. Both Masjid Zahrawi and Harmony.
So, I would like to ask, I want to state the basic issue, which is, if they say that we need to count that if right now everything is subsidized well, why aren't we getting the Venue Rahmah now? Why isn't it implemented now in our campus? That's the first one. And the second one, you said that the solidarity is the most important part in this motion. But if we know that if this motion passes the parliament and we go to the higher ups, the solidarity is not from us. It will continue to the next batch. And how are we going to ensure that the next batch will continue the solidarity and will promote the Venue Rahmah as we intended to? So we need to ensure that thing first, so that we can pass the motion.
Thank you. Now Masjid Zahrawi delegations.
So basically the idea is well done, but we need to widen our scope. Not all vendors are rich capitalists. Look an example, the makcik ayam penyet.
She is doing good, but not as good as the main cafe. So the question is, how do we balance our needs and our demand and the vendors' necessity and their cost? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But sorry, that question cannot be answered now. We must proceed with the vote Now the motion very concerned regarding the student welfare. The motion in response to the government's policy on inflation and Ministry of Higher Education commitment of Panorama program in every university. This House Muqtamar will support the introduction of Panorama in CFS IIM cafe at March for all students. Proposed by Turkish CMC, Econs, MSc Fatima, and Focus. 2 minutes for vote. Against, none. With a simple majority, the motion is accepted. Now we proceed to the third last motion of the day. The motion students should be provided a better platform to voice out their concerns related to the university, proposed by Press, Focus, and Village. 10 minutes for the presentation.
Yes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. So before we start, today I would like to start this presentation by drawing your attention to a powerful analogy that beautifully captures the importance of student voice. Now, I want you all to imagine there's a symphony orchestra right in front of you. A harmonious blend of diverse instruments coming together to create a mesmerizing musical masterpiece. Each musician contribute to their part, play their part with precision and passion. So, just like the musician in the harmonic orchestra, students are the vital compound of a vibrant educational community. Now, in today's presentation, we will explore and discuss about enhancing student voice by providing a better platform for university concern. Next. Today, we find ourselves at a crucial juncture, an era defined by a rapid advancement that demands adaptable situation or solution. I invite you guys to join me in exploring our vision that inspires us to reach higher, strive harder, and make a lasting impact. The first vision, Press believe that we want to secure an environment where the voices of all students find a resounding platform. Next, to cultivate an environment where transparency flows seamlessly between students and higher level administrators. The third one is our vision is to work
towards cultivating a supportive and collaborative dynamic between university management and students. And the last one is to uphold and safeguard the esteemed reputation of IIUM. I'll pass the mic to Sister.
Alright. So with that, I would like to highlight that we want to enhance the already pre-existing system. We don't want to condemn the already existing platform for the student voice. But what we want to brought up is the existence of the QR code. As you know, we can file a complaint opportunity out the QR code. But as I discover more, there are not a lot of student body that are aware of the existence of the QR code, and this needs to be enhanced more by promoting more by I believe the responsible parties, MRC and SCC. And secondly, the QR code needs to be properly laminated and spread throughout the student hotspot location. And this, for example, I believe can be put on every table of each cafe, laminated properly, so that students can see where is the located. And moving on. And another thing is the issue with and secondly, there is an issue with the email complaint. So what the current issue is that there need to be at least 2/3 of the IIM students that need to voice out their concern of some issues before it's heard by the higher up. And this is absurd because the numbers, if it's 2/3 of the CSSIM students, that means it is 2,700 students, which is very, very, very high numbers. And also the filing an email is time consuming, and it is also the highest level of formality of a complaint. And why should the student do it? No, I'm sorry. And so we believe that this number needs to be reduced to 1/8 of the student of this IIM student. And also, I believe that the higher ups, the management, should provide the official and proper procedure in filing complaint. So with that, I will pass the mic to Harry Sufian.
Now, I would like to simplify what Sister Gong has said just now. So, we are focusing on enhancing and elevating current platform to new heights. Meaning to say, we are not to condemn, we are here not to condemn our existing platform, which is QR code, email and so on. But we are here to demand any improvement or slight improvement on how can we file a complaint. For example, the first issue is about the QR code. Sister Noor has briefly explained to you guys about how the presence of QR code remains elusive and the students are not well known about the QR code. And also there's also insufficient efforts that we've made to actively market this QR code. So the mechanism that we offer is free, actively promoted by responsible party, MRC and SCC. Number 2, print the QR code properly, by means laminated. And number 3, print the printed QR at every student's hotspot location. And number 4, establish a few more QR codes that cover other scopes of concern as well. For example, the existing QR code we have now has about facilities, and we can also add about the lecturers' behavior during classes and all that. So students can make complaints throughout all the field in university. Next, we want to talk about the email. I would like to share to you guys how the procedure on a student to file a complaint to a higher ups. So, university has stated that at least 2/3 of CFS IIM students need to voice out their concerns via email in order to be heard by the higher ups. This is very, very nonsense because we have 4,000 students and the university demands 2/3 of our students to voice out their concern, barulah diorang akan ambil tindakan.
by agent of the speaker. Jadi, so the mechanism we offer is one is to reduce the minimum amount to 1/8 of student of CMSIIUM Rambang. And the second mechanism that we want to imply is to provide the official and proper procedure in filing complaints. Because the way I see it, some people say actually 2/3 of students. Some people say 1/3 of students. Therefore, I need university management to step up and give proper and provide an official and proper procedure in how the student can filing a complaint. That's number one. Our first approach is to improve or enhance the platform, the existing platform. The second approach we would like to deliver in this house is to actualize a robust means of communication between student body and administration. By means, we want to enhance or we want to establish two-way communication between student body and university higher up or university administration. Alright, so what is the driving issue or keadaan mendesak yang kami ingin bawakan dalam dewan? Kita yang berdua. The first one is, the way I see it, no matter how many times we file a complaint, let's say 1,000 complaints from students, 10,000 complaints from students, if there are no follow-up or if there are no feedback from the higher up, we never know what the action has been taken or not, whether or not our complaint is well received or not. Therefore, we would like to say in the second approach, we want to actualize a two-way communication between student and university management. The current issue that we would like to suggest or we would like to suggest is the level of receptiveness and responsiveness towards the complaint is uncertain and undersure. Meaning to say, we as a student can file a lot of complaints, but there's no response, there's no feedback from the university higher up. First one. Second one, notable absence of feedback or subsequent follow-up from the higher up regarding the reported issue. So, what is our humble mechanism or our humble suggestion? First one is to organize a regular open forum, for example, conference, town hall meeting or Q&A session. This will be the details will be covered in the next slide. And the second mechanism we would like to offer is to involve students in decision-making processes, especially on matters that directly impact them. Seek their input, involve them in committees, and genuinely consider their perspective. For example, university higher up should and must include student opinion before taking big decision. For example, the example of big decision is first standardizing the curfew. And then the second one is the decision whether or not to let brother eat in Sister Mahala's cafe. Or the third one, student outing dress code. This is the higher or this is the big decision that has to be made. And we would like to include student opinion in making this decision. 5 minutes more. Thank you. Next. And the last part of our presentation, we would like to share our brief mechanism, our humble mechanism on how we can provide or enhance two-way communication by performing or by promoting town hall conference and Mahala briefing. The first mechanism about town hall conference and Mahala briefing. We are here to plan the town hall conference and Mahala briefing to be semestral, which can provide consistent platform for discussion, or meaning to say town hall conference and Mahala briefing need to be held every semester. The second mechanism is university management will conduct transparent and informative presentation, providing students with insight into their plans and progress. Meaning to say, in every town hall conference or in every Mahala briefing, university higher up will conduct a transparent presentation on what have they done, what will they want to, what is their plan in the future, and what they want students want them to do in the future. And the third mechanism is the student body, or we will say SSC and MRC, will maintain a continuous cycle of presentation, keeping students updated on their plans and progress throughout the semester. Meaning to say, on every town hall conference or in every Mahala briefing, MRC or SRC, SSC will provide their plans throughout the semester to the students attending the conference. And we would like to add the attendance is compulsory for all the students. Therefore, that is all from us from press. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is that all your presentation? Thank you. Now we open to the Q&A session, 10 minutes. Now any honorable members from any nation, you can ask a question. Yes, first from honorable members from Orators Club, you may ask a question.
Alright. The first issue here, the regulation program, in light of one part, which is they must define what kind of complaint they are talking about. Is it about the facility? Is it about the lecture behavior? Or exam date or everything? So they need to define what the complaint is about. That's the first thing. And the second one, they forgot that we have another alternative that can be do for the student to complain and voice out their opinion by calling and message, and even though they can meet the person. First, for concept of lecturer behavior, they said there are no platform to do that. But as you know, that every semester there will be evaluation form that every student must be filled up, or not, the result cannot be seen after that, right? So that one part is one way to voice out your opinion. The second one, for the MRC or HRC, we have kind of the number of Zilan or KPAD that we can directly from MRC itself, I think, MRC Brunei or others kind of MRC, no, that we can directly call them and complain about what happened in the facility on the Bala itself. And also the third one, about the date of examination or about administration, we can call or meet up Oda itself, Ahmad itself, or Osam itself to complain about it. That's all from me, thank you.
Thank you, delegation from Orators. So, let's kupas one by one. Number one is they demand us to define what type of complaint. I do think that it is so unnecessary because complaint is complaint. It could be everything. Like, for example, lecturer behavior and all that. Yes, that's why we are here. We would like to remind you guys again and again. We are here not to condemn the existing platform, but we demand slight or any improvement from the existing platform. And then the second one is they mentioned about another alternative, whether if we would like to complain about lecturers' behavior, we already have student feedback survey. Yes, I do acknowledge that, but we must remember the student feedback survey is at the end of every semester. So if it is at the end of every semester, what if I want to file a complaint now? So I can easily access the QR code. That's our main point. And the third one is, they mentioned about MRC can call or can call fellow or directly contact them and all that. Yes, I do understand. MRC has their job. But what if it is a smaller portion of student, a normal student which is not an MRC or has any position? They cannot contact it. They don't have the courage to directly contact. So, or maybe you can say, the student can contact MRC one. So, what I will try to say is we want to make it easy for everyone. MRC can do the job. Student can do the job by scanning the QR code. That's what we want in this house. I hope this answers your question. Next question?
Next question to any honorable members. MRC Zarawi first and then MRC Biruni.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Zarawi. I would like to emphasize maybe because I do believe that elevating the current usage of complaint platform is not as effective as we want it should be. So today I would like to emphasize the usage of official group of Telegram. Okay, before this, I see some of people, even my friend Muhammad Umar, he only know. No. Here, good. Okay, Muhammad Umar is actually voice out.
Please do not mention any name.
Alright. Okay, my friend, he holds no position in either MRC or what to hold. But a few days before this, he just voiced out, he questioned why our security become more strict. Okay, because the objective of elevating this platform is to provide the students the clear answer and a better explanation for the implementation for any laws. But I can think my friend, when he direct the question on the group of Telegram, it is better when Brother Taiful, Deputy Dean, can straightly explain why
Please,
that
brother, members, please, mention in name.
Alright, sorry.
Just the position.
Alright. Ya. Okay, dalam keadaan kita memerlukan jawapan yang So I believe the usage of group Telegram, official group Telegram, is better to voice out any issue regarding of mahalah or any implementation of law. Ada example before this, president of MRC do voice out an issue about the cafe at the mahalah, and the higher up can actually take the action by having a discussion face to face with the president to discuss how the solution can be delegated properly, so all of us can get the benefit of this discussion. So after all, I just want to emphasize actually the usage of Telegram group. That's all. Thank you.
Please respond from the education, and then we proceed to the library.
Yes. So thank you from MRC Zarawi. A very good answer. So for my experience, so basically the Zarawi mentioned about me lah. Okay. So I'm the one who he was out about the cafe. So I want to give what is the effect of the discussion. Number one, the answer of the staff is that for this sem, they receive no complaints about the cafe. They only receive 1 or 2 only. So for their POV, 1 or 2% is not strong enough for them to go to the cafe and do an inspection. So what? So that means that we, all of us, should take action. Don't just complain at the software, but also scan the output itself. Just don't point out it, oh, MRC doesn't do work, why MRC doesn't do anything. But we actually do something, okay? If you have problem with MRC, you can contact me. If you have issue with Mahala, you can contact with this MRC, okay? Because why? Because I also have experience. I can show you a proof that I can give you contact of the fellow to find out about your concern. Maybe in your Mahala, I don't know if you doesn't contact your fellow or your MRC, but in my Mahala, in Biruni Mahala, if the student or the resident, want the number of fellow, I can give it directly. Okay? We don't want no procedure. As long I can make the resident of Biruni satisfied with the condition of Biruni and the condition of MRC Biruni. Thank you.
Now we proceed to the response from the education.
Thank you, delegation from MRC Zarawi and MRC Biruni. Right, what I can get from your question and your explanation is, first one, from MRC Zarawi, you mentioned about Telegram is better. And from MRC Biruni, you mentioned about all the works can be informed or all the complaints can be informed to MRC, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so back to our
back to our approach or back to our objective. We are here not to condemn any or not to say that previous ataupun existing platform is bad. No, we don't want to say that. We just want an enhancement. That's why we want to say, in this house, we just want to enhance. We just want to active or we just want to slightly improve the existing platform. Yes, I agree. Telegram is so much efficient. Telegram is so much better. But what about QR code? We want also a balanced improvement. Kalau dalam Telegram dah okey, why not kita okeykan sekali dalam QR code? Itu yang kita nak mahukan. Terus, next, I would like to give you an example. For example, today in our brother cafe, we have scandal Biruni Cafe scandal. For example, example is very bad. Cleanliness is very bad. It's at the heart, but it's at bad level. Okay, for example, I give you an analogy. So, the issue right now is Biruni Cafe is very bad. Okay, one of the approach that we can take is MRC reported it to the higher up. One. Number two, student that is not a part of MRC can file a complaint to QR code. But the problem is when the student file a complaint with QR code, they don't get any follow-up. They don't get any feedback. That's what we want to bring in this house. We want a two-way communication. We want a slightly improved in existing platform. That's what we want to trying to say. And we are here not to condemn any existing platform. So I agree with MRC Zarawi. I agree with MRC Biruni. You guys can do your job. Telegram can do their job. But it is important to enhance or improve the other platform so that it can 100% all can perform really well and higher ups of university can listen to complain very well and they can take action. That's all from me. Thank you.
Stand the order.
We'll move on to the voting session for the motion.
Mr. Secretary.
Okay, so we'll move on to the voting session for the motion enhancing student voices, a better platform for university persons. So, 2 minutes from now.
Standing order. Mr. Speaker gone. Without being noticing. Mr. Speaker gone without being noticing. Remember.
Alhamdulillah. Sorry for my mistake. Now we proceed to the final result of the motion. Students should be provided with a better platform to work out their concerns related to the university proposed by Press, Focus and Relax. In favor 58, against 10, the motion is accepted. Now we proceed to the second last motion of the day. The implementation of CSIRM 000 project food bank program proposed by IMASTIN.
Taking care of the student welfare is one of the most important. So we, from the IMASTIN society, are going to bring the motion about the implementation of the FSIR and the Global Food Bank program.
Sorry, you can just repeat.
And again, we are going to bring about the motion, the implementation of the FSIR and the Global Food Program. Let's take a look at the next slide. About the issue that may lead to the establishment of the food bank program for students. The issue that financial hardship.
Member, sorry again, can you speak louder?
Many students struggle to make ends meet financially, particularly to those who are coming from the low-income families and having hard time getting pocket money on time. Secondly, rising cost of living, especially in this crisis economic era, the cost of living in many areas has risen in recent years, making it difficult for students to afford basic necessities on a limited budget. Third, limited and unequal sources to affordable food. Just like we all know, students of syllabus and IMASTIN take almost an hour to get to the content, ECN and else. And to get to the town, we need to take transportation, the rapid bus for almost 4 minutes and nothing. So it takes a lot of burden to the student to pay for the transportation and else. The last one, discrimination for the ASNA. Some students may face discrimination when seeking employment or may not be eligible for government support, for example, BPA, or due to the family's financial issues. For the next one, implementing a program at the mosque involves several steps. First one, conduct a needs assessment and by identifying the needs of the student population by conducting a survey or focus group to determine the level of food insecurity among the students. Second one, forming a committee compromise of the Muslim society itself. Students and other community members prepare and implement the program. Also, by recruiting volunteers to help with the food collection, distribution, and other related program activities. Third, future funding. By identifying potential sources of funding for the program, such as from the university itself, donation from the students in terms of food or money, or connection to the local business, for example, local food bank, grocery stores, and community organizations to secure food donation. Next, to make sure this program is actually within the CFS, we have to advertise the program through flyers, social media, and other mediums to inform students of its availability. Lastly, to monitor and evaluate, regularly monitor and evaluate the program to determine its effectiveness and identify the areas for improvement. To the next slide. Its advantages are access to the food. Students who may be struggling financially can access free food through the food program, ensuring they can focus on their studies issue. Next, community support. The food bank project is seen as an act of kindness and compassion by the mosque and the university, creating a supportive community environment for the student. Next, non-judgmental environment. Students may feel more comfortable accessing a food bank program in a mosque as opposed to other locations. Additionally, non-judgmental environment that respect religious belief. Next, increase awareness. Launching a food bank program in a mosque for students can increase awareness of poverty and the need for community support. Lastly, encourage for the student to volunteer. The food bank program can also encourage members of from other societies to volunteer their time and resources to help their needs, fostering a sense of community and social responsibility, which all can lead to avoid health issues, prevent hunger, and increase awareness. By following all of this, our CFSI IUM can successfully implement a food bank program to support its students and elevate food insecurity on
Thank you very much. Now we can have about 15 minutes Q&A session. Now I open to the floor. Yes, from delegation PK Yan. Perkim, sorry.
So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And first of all, I don't want to ask a question, but I want to support and highlight the motion that has been brought by the RPJ, because this motion is really great idea, and it's about the welfare of our students. Because as we already know, the issue on daily issues has been in our group telegram, confession or group mission about the food, about the quality of food, about the price of food. We can say that this motion is suitable for this issue, for that issue, and I think I don't want to add anymore, but maybe I want to suggest that your motion should be maybe to discuss further about the food bank, about the where to be held, about the price about the limiters of students who want to take the food from the food bank. That's all.
Thank you very much. Yes, members from CFI Masjid.
Thank you for the support speech from Turkey. So, how we are conducting this year program is we are going to set up a food bank in Masjid. So why we are putting this food bank in Masjid? Because main objective is to attract people to go Masjid more often. As you can see, the day that have lost Jemaah is only in Monday and Thursday. This is only in Maghrib. And then when it's rather to Isha, the Jemaah really lost. I don't know where they go. Maybe they have some classes or maybe that's just right? So, but the purpose for this year program, we just prevent our students from classes so that they can have to study well in the class. So, for the budget, like for your all information, for this information, that iftar for Monday and Tuesday is provided 1,050 per week, so that is 750 only per day. So as you can do the math, for only 300 to 300 person and times it with 3 or 4 ringgit, we can't really buy much thing for the food that we provide to all. But we need to have the collaboration from all departments. Like lately, the masjid has running out of our budget. Not the masjid group budget, but the management of masjid, they are running off our budget. So they have collect with departments such as Department of Maths, Department of ICT like that, in order to gain budget to provide the foods for the students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now proceed to the next question. Any dedication? Question number 1. Yes, please, from Messi.
So I'm very agree with the statement made by Al Masjid delegation, where they want to enhance the activity of program of food bank program. So I want to suggest a thing where we can increase the collection of food bank, but maybe we can make a counter in Mahallah, because not many students who want to give their food, they want to bring a box of their food to the masjid just to carry heavily their food to the masjid. But instead we can create a counter in the Mahallah so that the students who want to give their foods that they don't want or they want to give, they can go to downstairs, so they just put the food on the counter, and then the committee of the masjid can take the food and send it to the masjid, so that for those who want the food can go to the masjid to collect the food if they need. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much. The masjid.
Thank you, delegation from NC. Such a good idea. So regarding the items that we donated, or maybe foods that we donated to the masjid, in order to give to all students, yes, we can offer two types. Maybe one, you buy dry food and put it in maybe one box, the Zero Hunger program, Zero Hunger project box, so that the student we can take it by themselves for their own needs. And also the second one, maybe they can they have no time to buy things, they can just give the money to the management of masjid in order to we can the management can buy it for the Zero Hunger project. And for the implementation of placing counter in Mahallah, maybe I would not say that our ZFS IMF Zero Hunger project is just from IMF ourselves, but it's one community. Maybe this program can be conducted by SEC and also Mahallah, all Mahallah, so that we can help more people that needs to prevent this hunger among students in our campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from other delegations? Yes, from MRC Fatima. Azda, delegation from MRC Azda.
So my question is, the food, is it all students will be eligible to get the food, or is it open to the ones who actually really need that food? Because we are all aware we have different levels of working in students of CFS IUM. So I think how can we ensure that students who actually needed these food to get what they need, and to reduce the people who actually don't need it so much from accessing that.
Thank you for my Masih Asda. So, how can we so as suggestion that you can put counter in Mahala, so there's people that fetch the counter, so we can recognize the people who in it by the people in it need to fill some form and in order to check their status of background financial status. So that we will not have some that maybe didn't that will take the B40, the heart of B40 goods. So this is prohibited to take other people's things, right? So this is our one of the initiatives on prevent the rich student take the poor student heart. Thank you.
Very much. Yes, delegation from Idea. Idea.
So as you know, the sources for the food, as you know, for the program, food bank program, the sources is from infaq by students, right? So how if one day there's no one infaq the sources like food any with the permission of speaker, bagaimana kalau one day nanti kita terputus bekalan? So how I masjid can how the plan B by that give by I masjid to make sure that the sources will always available and continuous.
So as I said before, that the iftar programs has been budgeted around 150 for weeks, so it's around 750 for a day. So we actually can propose budget for this program also. We can top up maybe once a week, so it's maybe 4 times in a month. So if you allocated budget, like if you guys really go to most and eat iftar, maybe you will realize that sometimes you eat nasi lemak, sometimes you eat nasi goreng, and sometimes you eat nasi with chicken, red chicken, or maybe fish. Ayam masak merah. Okay. So why this kind of things happen? Because why? Because when we eat nasi goreng or nasi lemak, because it's budgeted for RM3 only. So the RM3 budget doesn't have any addition from outside, maybe committee from outside or students' contribution. So when we eat nasi ayam or maybe nasi ayam merah kan, so it's actually have contribution from others or maybe department. So when you say that we have no contribution for others, it's really have no problem because it really can go continue, but there's nothing special from addition from the Zero Hunger program. Thank you.
Now, I think the last question to the MSD delegation. Yes, delegation from Focus.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the chance. So, as I stand today, I just same as Perkim and Messi, we from Focus really support this motion, and we from Focus also want to suggest about the implementation for the sponsorship. Maybe iMasjid can ask the sponsorship from many NGO, because as we know, there are some NGO that actually want to donate and want to cooperate with this program. But sometimes there are some institutes such as the university that actually didn't have that program. So I think that's the suggestion that we Focus want ask iMasjid to reconsider it. That's all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Focus. Now, response from iMasjid, the last response to that suggestion. We'll just proceed. Respond. Proceed to which? Now, the problem to the House, the implementation of CFSIM Zero Hunger Project Food Bank Program proposed by iMasjid. 2 minutes for voting. The motion implementation of 7IM Zero Hunger Food Project Food Bank Program proposed by iMasjid. In favor 63, against 3, with 2 chair majority, that motion is accepted.
Standing on there. Number 18. 1. Any member other than a minister may rise in his place and ask leave to discuss a defined matter of urgent public importance by reading the text of the motion approved by Tuan Yang di-Pertua. May I read the proposed motion?
Oh, okay. So you want to mention that motion? Yes. Which motion?
and urgent to extend the debate's time from 30 minutes to 50 minutes for tomorrow's session, 30 minutes for presentation, and 30 minutes for Q&A. Almost all of the motion for tomorrow's session are quite heavy, and it is inadequate to be debated for only 30 minutes. This is a matter of urgent public importance.
Yes, as you know that tomorrow's motion is more challenging compared to today's. Now, anyone agree to extend, but the point that I want to highlight is that the time will be longer, and then maybe some of the motion cannot be debated. That is in the worst case scenario.
Mr. Speaker, there are several standing points, standing orders to actually extend the time of debating for today and tomorrow, if needed, if for the further urgent matters discussion.
Yes, I know, but I hope that it will not drag, because tomorrow we have the BPD for the closing ceremony. If we drag the motion, maybe the last motion, the result will get, we know, maybe at 7, we don't know. Because we drag for the 30-minute presentation and 20 minutes Q&A, more than 1 hour for motion. But I leave to the hall, anyone who agrees to extend the time for discussion and Q&A, please stand up, and whosoever disagree, take it. So more people sit down, therefore we still stay with the current procedure. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, standing order. Standing order to the urgent motion. I think not all motion will be needed for 50 minutes. Only certain motions that into the consideration of the whole very
I think that for example, motion A, we stick for 1 hour, and then if we clear that, we make the motion B will be adequate, the total time to be debated and discussed. But still, in my consideration and with the initial vote by all members, we still with the same guideline, because we want to proceed with all the motions. We want all 24 motions must be debated and passed by the parliament. Thank you for your consideration. Now we proceed to the last motion of the day, presented by PS and SEC, provide chartered buses to each student in the neighborhood.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good evening. I bid to Mr. Speaker and all honorable members of the Parliament. So today, we, the delegation of CFS peers, together with SEC, are bringing a motion which is provide chartered buses to ease the students to returning home. Without further ado, let us proceed to the main issues on why we need to provide chartered buses to ease the students to returning home. So the first issue is students have to book Maxim or Grab to TSK and even to UMB to get on their bus. However, the main problem with Maxim and Grab is drivers can easily cancel our booking trip last minute. And this has happened to me personally around multiple times, which can lead to some, with permission, Mr. Speaker, gelabah, right? So when the driver cancels last minute, everything will be havoc, and it can lead to another unnecessary problem. And second is the number of students is not enough to fulfill the current chartered bus that lead to cancellation from the bus operators due to lack of promotion. For your information, honorable members of Parliament, there are already an initiative to make a chartered bus. However, for example, in the Jom Balik Selangor WhatsApp group, there are 652 members, but in the chartered bus WhatsApp group in 4Ticket KL or Selangor, there are only 225 members, which due to lack of promotion or official information from CFS itself. And for your information, when there are lack numbers of students, the operators cannot proceed with the chartered bus because the operators itself mentioned that in order to make a chartered bus a trip, we need to make sure that the bus is full. So, like in the info ticket BKS KL Selangor WhatsApp group, the amount that is required to ensure that a trip can successfully go to Selangor is 44. However, in the recent poll that the operators themselves said, there are only 16 students who is interested in joining the chartered bus. So, it led us to the two solutions that we had discussed. First is we are going to provide chartered buses in CFS, and second, we are going to provide information and promote the use of chartered bus in CFS officially. So next, I am going to pass the mic to my partner, Sister Laila.
So the meaning of chartered bus is a chartered bus is a large coach and is hired by an organization to transport a group of people to a destination determined by the group's coordinator. And it means it is also a private vehicle used by private groups to take them and only them to their destination. And charter bus are the most popular option for group traveling and are used to travel short and long distance comfortably. So, what are the benefits in providing chartered buses? At the slide, we provide 4 benefits that we look at as a reason for providing chartered bus in CFS. First is reduce students' expenditure on or Grab. For this problem, that students had to spend their money to order the Maxim or Grab to arrive in TSK or UMP. So, first off, we provide charter bus. Students just need to wait at CFS and just go return their home by the charter bus. Second, it can reduce time in terms of the bus booking process and the possibility of missing the bus due to delay. This is our problem that common to students that had facing this possibility to missing their bus because of program and Maxim or Grab. And the third benefit is providing convenience and comfort for students to return home. As I said that students just need to wait at CFS and bus is providing to them and they just return to home with comfortably and convenient. And lastly, it can avoid uncontrollable problems such as delay and cancellation of the last minute. It's also a problem to the Maxim or Grab. So next, the destination that we suggested for chartered bus from CFS is first to Selangor State to arrive at Terminal Bersebaju Selatan and Terminal Shah Alam and Terminal Nilai for Negeri Sembilan students. Next, Melaka Central, and lastly, Terminal Muar for Johor students in one-way journey. It's all and I pass to you.
So, for the second solution, that is to cater the second problem is from information. So our suggestion is that we can provide information through our official CFS IIL group, and second, we can also make an official announcement through iMaklum, and third, we can officially make an announcement in every state WhatsApp group. So that's all from us, but before we proceed to the question, I need to clarify one thing. We are suggesting an alternative. We are not saying that everyone is need to use chartered bus. No, we are providing alternative. So when do we want to use this alternative? I give you one situation. When there was like a public holiday that caused every ticket bus to be sold out, even in the midnight. So for those who doesn't get to buy the ticket bus or with your permission, Mr. Speaker, tak sempat beli tiket, can use our alternative, which is chartered bus. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we open to the questions. Please, Karate Do delegation. After this, Harmony, and then Idia. Focus. Oh, sorry, focus. Press.
Thank you for the speaker. Okay, my question is, does this chartered bus provided during usual weekend or only during the holiday? If it is provided for every weekend, so it is such a waste since this is dia bukan keperluan, it is kehendak to go out for every week. So, and my suggestion, this is my suggestion. So since the problem here is about the money for Maxim or sold out of the bus ticket, so my suggestion here, why don't we ask the CFS to we can claim the money from CFS. We just screenshot our receipt or any invoice and we just email to them and try to claim for every expenditure that we use to go back to our hometown. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Proceed to the next question from Harmony. And then focus, and then Pius. Press.
So there are many questions that I want to ask for the PS. First is, I cannot see clearly how the mechanism work. Like, are you going to contact the, for the next generation, are you going to contact the charter bus to come here or the stock management handling it? And that is first. And second, there are suggestions because there are problems here. As I will echo to the Karate Do, the society, which said that because lack of, there is no need, like, or in an economic terms, like there is no demand for the charter bus to come here, because they don't want to go here to every week, like not every student wants to go home every week. So, but my suggestion is probably because there are no clear explanation, is we only provide the charter bus on a very long holidays, for example, like Sem break or Raya Haji and etc. And also, or instead of like, because of the problem that was stated here is we don't like it costs money from here to ESK or UMP or station UMP Gambang by Maxim. So instead of using charter bus directly from CFS to the any destination that was suggested, for example, Terminal Muar, Terminal Shah Alam, and also some terminal, why don't we just provide the charter bus from the CFS directly to the TSK only? Because there are many students coming from different background, so we can just send to everyone, all of them, to the TSK only. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members from PS, you may answer.
Okay, first of all, thank you for the amazing suggestion. And the thing is, we already contact 3 operators, and one of them, they can cover, their headquarters is basically at Kuantan. So if your suggestion is we provide a chartered bus to the SK, I think that is very, with your permission, sangat boleh dibuat lah. Sebab because this one company, they cover whole Malaysia, including Thailand and Singapore. But their HQ is on Kuantan. And second, about the no demand or no need. So basically, I already mentioned that in order to do a trip in a chartered bus, we need to fulfilling the criteria or fulfilling the minimum requirement, which is in this case, the bus need to be full in order to make a trip. So, logically speaking, the only time when a bus can be fully booked or fully used is when they are like Brother had mentioned, semester break or maybe Raya Haji, Raya Aidilfitri. So, again, thank you for all the suggestions.
Thank you. Other than focus delegation, is there any more questions? Press cancel. Cancel. Focus Ida and then? No other question. So just the last two questions from both delegations.
Mr. Speaker.
Okay. So am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, regarding, okay, I'd like to piggyback on Harmony's suggestion, which is, yeah, I was also wondering why you would provide a chartered bus straight to the destinations instead of PSK, and you said that you could make the PSK trip possible. But I'm not trying to shut your idea down, but please consider a few things. Number one, if you provide buses to PSK, the timing might be hard for you to manage because not everyone's bus schedule are the same. And you might want to take that into consideration if you want chartered buses straight to PSK. And number two, the chartered buses idea are very great, but the destination suggested, I wouldn't suggest you to set some, like the examples you've given are TS, Shah Alam, Malacca Center, Eli and more. These are buses that, you know, if you go to third party apps or whatever, these buses, they have trips from PSK to these places like every 30 minutes or like hours or so. So maybe if you do want to do this initiative, try providing buses to places that are more remote. For example, Perak or Kedah or Seremban. Okay, but Seremban is near Nilai. Okay. But yeah, Perak, Maribunta, maybe. See, there's not a lot of buses there. And then we have state WhatsApp groups, right? If you want to travel home and such. But it's not open to everyone. Personal experience, I have a friend who's from Perak, and he can. The Perak WhatsApp group is only open to the sisters. Okay? Right. It's not discriminatory, maybe they're just not comfortable, you know, Perak. Okay? So, yeah, maybe if you do want to provide chartered buses, please provide to these more remote areas, or maybe TSK, though it'll be hard. But yeah, I want you to consider the remote areas. Thank you very much.
Proceed to Idia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, I want to talk about the safety, students, and the budget. From my personal experience, I usually return to Kelantan with chartered bus, around 90 ringgit. So, how do you want to deal with the CFS or the owner of chartered bus to lower down the price so that student could pay, which is what I mean is more friendly price for students. So that was the first question. And second one is the safety of students when they reach the destination. As we know, chartered bus can't enter the terminal because it is illegal, if I'm not mistaken. So from my personal experience too, they usually drop drop us at mosque or any a mosque or in front of mall instead of terminal bus. So how do you want to deal with the owner of the chartered bus, whether you need to deal with the terminal itself or both CFS and the terminal bus? So how your plans? Do you get the questions?
Proceed. Answer.
Basically, based on the discussion we had previously, we had agreed that this thing will be put in charge of SCC. So, for the details, etc., etc., it can, yes, it will put under SCC. But for the safety, if I may, Mr. Speaker, for the company that I suggested is, can I mention the company name? Okay,
for the information, yes.
Okay, basically, ZA Nusantara Travel and Tours Sdn. So it is a verified company and registered. Thank you. And from the suggestion from the focus, yes, we will consider. Thank you.
One last question. Messi, no? No question? If there is no question, then we proceed to the vote. The last motion of the day proposed before the House provide chartered buses to e-students returning home, proposed by Pierce and SCC. 2 minutes for voting. Alhamdulillah, the final result for the final motion of the day, provide chartered buses to e-students returning home, proposed by Pierce and SCC. In favor 52, against 18, the motion is accepted. Alhamdulillah, there have been all 12 motions of the day, and one motion has not been debated. So the conclusion, 8 motions have been accepted and 4 motions have been rejected. Thank you very much, and I pray for the best luck tomorrow
But this time, we will only extend time for a critical motion, which on the scope of leadership.
Agree.
Leadership is leadership. We don't have to extend the time for all the motions.
But we have 5 motion under leadership. Does mean all 5 motion?
No, certain. Not all the 5 motion on the leadership. Only selected. You will take into consideration.
Just want to, speaker, just want to.
Please reconsider it.
Which motion do you want to propose to be debated more? It depends on you, and then based on the judgment of the House, that will be considered. But I advise only one motion. Only one motion.
Will you give him a minute? I need to take into some consideration on many factors.
Because only everyone wants to leave.
1 minute only, Mr. Speaker. 1
minute. For motion, Mr. Speaker.
But as I say, the cost is you have to be, the motion is to be delayed, and then is there a possibility for us to extend the motion? It's up to you. You can debate, but it's up to you whether to choose whether to agree or not. It depends on the judgment of all the members.
In my opinion, Mr. Speaker, we should extend the time for debate on the first issue.
Agree.
Everything must be open to all honorable members, it's not my judgment. So we move on to the last vote. Anyone who agreed, okay, before that, the first motion is organize SCC and MRC election to let the public democratically elect their representative. This motion has been proposed by MRC Biruni, Harmony, Orators, IDEA, Focus, and SSGM. Anyone who agrees for the debate to be longer, please stand up and who wants to disagree.
Majority, Mr. Speaker.
So obviously the majority, therefore only for the first motion. But the reason is that they have the possibility for us to delay the time. The maximum only for 1 hour. That's only 1 hour. 30 minutes presentation, 20 minutes for 20.
Agree the reverse. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
For presentation, 30 minutes question. More time on question, Mr. Speaker.
Because I think they need, because as I know, there are 2 solutions, two suggested solutions tomorrow.
It can be done.
I think 20 minutes for presentation.
Speaker,
Okay, just listen. 30 minutes for presentation, 20 minutes for Q&A. That's our plan. Who agree with that promotion? 30 minutes presentation, 20 minutes Q&A. 25 minutes presentation, 25 minutes Q&A.
First choice but reverse.
Presentation, 30 minutes Q&A. But my reminder, please, in the discussion, debate, so I don't want any intense debate tomorrow. Please keep this debate harmony.
Harmony.